Welcome to the world's stickiest learning. My name's Darren Smith, and more importantly, I'm here with Ruth Taylor. Ruth, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good today, thank you. Well, I say today, for me it's night time, but
it is. Where are you in the world?
Well, I decided to move from the UK all the way to the other side of the world, so I'm currently in New Zealand.
Right, okay, so it's 9 a.m. here. It's probably about 9 p.m. there, isn't it?
10 o'clock.
10. Oh, right. Okay. Thank you very much for coming in. We've got 3 short questions for you about the cards that you created, which I can see on the right there.
Yep.
So the first question is, why, in the nicest possible way, should we talk to you about parenting? What do you know about parenting?
When I came to New Zealand, I had toddlers, and now I have 2 adults who I'm very proud of. They're in their 20s now. I was very fortunate. I did actually parenting courses before I had parents.
Oh, okay.
Before I had children. Before I had children. And that's something that most people don't get the chance to do. But I was trained as a parenting coach and a facilitator for courses by Health Promotion at the time to work with parents. And I thought, this is awesome. I've got this. And then what I found was the reality of having your own children is not quite as simple as they made out. But there were things which I was able to consider before having children, which maybe other people weren't, because obviously having gone on the courses, there was things I could talk to my husband about, going, have you ever thought about this? And he was like, no. So there's questions where I was thinking, well, how can we encourage other people to be able to ask those questions either before they even think about getting pregnant, when they are pregnant, and all that. So that's really kind of where the coaching cards came from, and also where the sort of sections of the cards came from. So, and in my life, I'm a facilitator. I facilitate soft skill courses, communication skills, conflict management, leadership skills, emotional literacy, a lot of things like that. So I've worked in schools, I've worked in hospitals, with leaders, with parents, with children. So I guess I have a different insight as well as how we often think about children isn't actually how children think. And sometimes we don't think of the impact of our actions on our children. And therefore having cards which encourage us to reflect before we open our mouths or before we make certain decisions means that hopefully we'll get more of the behavior we're looking for.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. I know when Gabby was born 25 years ago, these things don't come with a manual, and you come home and you go, I have no idea what to do. My life has changed.
The thing is, things change all the time. So these cards don't say do this, do that. They say, have you considered, or where would you go for this information? So it's not a guideline of saying, oh, you should parent this way, and no, that's wrong. It's more a case of, well, talk about it. Decide as a couple, because I don't know about yourself, but when I was first going out with my husband, working out how we're going to raise kids wasn't the first thing on our minds. Making them, maybe, let's you're going to get your priorities right. So it's like, well, how do you get to start these conversations?
Very true. Yeah. Okay. All right, so you've got a lot of experience of parenting, you've done a lot of courses, you practice this, and then you created these cards. So what are these parenting coaching cards?
So these are actually probably pretty much early on in the journey rather than later. Obviously, the journey of a parent is ever-changing, engaging and fun and annoying and all the things it can be. So looking at the cards, we decided to actually go for kind of set of, there's 80 cards, something like that. But we broke it into 5 parts. And the reason for that was because, as I said, the whole preparation thing, there's a lot of people thinking about having children. And this kind of like, well, what do you think about having, what should I consider? I mean, you've got the things like, can I afford it? I suppose that's a basic one. But what other things have I got here? Who are your role model parents? And it's a useful conversation to have with your partner, who do they see as good parents? Who do you see as good parents? Are you aware of the impact of technology on babies? And the subcourse of this one is, what relationship do you currently have with your phone? Because that's a challenge that people might not actually consider. It's like, If you are someone who spends all your time on your mobile, on social media, your child is going to disturb you. You're not going to be able to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we see
the cat is now meowing.
That's all right. We can't hear it. One of my bugbears is when you go to a restaurant and there are kids on a phone watching a film. And you think, I don't think that's right from me as a parent, but have they considered that? I don't know.
In my day, it was don't put them in front of the television, and I admit I absolutely use the TV as a babysitter. But the thing about TV is you can walk in front of it, you can unplug it, you can turn it off.
Yes.
The thing about the phone is you don't know what they're looking at, you can't see what they're looking at, and you try and take that off them. I tell you, they've got a grip like a vice. They ain't going to let go, and it's much easier to refuse than it is to remove.
Okay.
So there's that whole concept that however hard it is you think to resist your child's desire to have one, trying to take it off of them afterwards, it's a lot harder, and you will get a lot more noise. But that's just kind of my personal opinion. But there's a lot of research coming out. There is a lot of research coming out.
So you created 80 questions. There's 5 stages. Just tell us what those 5 stages were again. I know you showed us the card.
We did, and then I put it down. And what did I do with it? Oh, here we go. So there's preparation, which is you're thinking of having kids and you're starting to talk about it. So how to start talk. There's then pregnancy, and people might think, well, what do I need to know and talk about pregnancy? Well, are you someone who is going to reveal the gender of your child?
Okay.
Do you want a gender reveal party, or are you someone who's going to wait until you have the child to get it named? It's a little bit tense when you're having the scan and your husband's going, oh, what sex is it? And you go, no, I don't want to know. So again, it's having those conversations prior to that. Are you going to be okay with people coming up and touching your belly and, oh, can I touch your belly? It's kicking. So your own personal boundaries. And this is going to be different for everyone. So pregnancy, are there vitamins you should be on? Are you doing any kind of lifestyle choices which maybe could harm your child? I mean, if you're a drinker or a smoker, are you going to give that up? These are things to consider. I don't know the answers. The third section is parenting itself. So in that first 2-3 years, the first 1,000 days is very important in the child's development.
1,000 days, wow. Yeah. Okay, haven't heard of that.
How do you see it working as far as who's going to get up at night and help look after the kid? How are you looking to put in sort of rewards or sanctions or disciplining? What's your thoughts on that? How are you going to cope if the house goes to pot? It's not going to be tidy as it is now because you've got things going on. Is this understood? Then we talk about partnerships and people, which is really other people in your life who may be involved with helping you to parent. So this could be your wider family. Over in New Zealand, we'd say whānau, which is a Maori word for your wider family. Are you looking to send your child to kindergarten or nursery? There are different words for those. And how are you going to pass on the messages to how you would like your child to be parented? I mean, there's agreements there which we need to kind of work on. And the final one is personal, which is just about you. How do you chill? How do you relax? How do you recoup your energy when you've kind of got no energy left? What do you need for your own self-care? And that opportunity of how do you keep your relationship going with your other half?
Okay, so fabulous. We've got 5 stages. There's probably about 15 questions in each to make 80.
I can't actually remember the exact number.
My maths is not great. Would you show us just a random example of a card so we can see the question, what it looks like?
So for pregnancy, I've got...
Okay, so what can you do to prepare for the birth? Okay, fabulous. Got it. All right.
It's always good to have that. What makes you feel safer, having the child at hospital, at home, or is there some other choice? Again, it's just to think about it. Sometimes you make a wonderful parenting plan. It is something that they will often make with you. Your midwife will make a parenting plan, but it's also good to have that discussion already. I mean, parenting itself, what boundaries may you need to put in place post-birth?
Post-birth, okay, got it.
That first week or two when you're just well, I've got no energy. What do you say? Are relatives allowed to be their in-laws? You know, are you going to cope with them? Can you name 3 strategies which you could use if your child has a tantrum?
Nice. So, I can't 25 years later, but.
Well, there's quite a few out there, so it is that kind of thing. But the personal, what is your strongest sense? And the question now is, if it was overwhelmed, what would you like to do? And I suppose there's a bit of a nod to the odd nappy, which might happen, or the eardrums bursting due to the child screaming for an awful long time. So if you are someone who has particularly sensitive hearing, what can you maybe put in place to be able to keep yourself calm in those situations? And
Lovely.
maybe they need the classic peg on your nose if you're changing one of those nappies.
So
yeah.
If we come to the why did you create them, I think you've answered a lot of that. But if you were to put that in a succinct sentence, what problem do you think these cards solve? Why did you create them?
I found when I was learning about parenting and the work I was doing with mediation, which was conflict management, communication. If you can solve communication at the source, make sure that you are communicating with your partner and checking assumptions, you'll be able to parent together.
Nice. Like that. Yeah.
That's the benefit. Ask the question, find the answer, then you can discuss it. Don't find in the moment that you need to make a decision and you find that you want to make different ones. Then your child may well hear that, you've got other people hearing, and it doesn't look professional, I suppose, in some ways. Not that we tend to want to look professional as a parenting couple, but it's like we found we didn't have Father Christmas's job description, which sounds really stupid, but we didn't have one. So we're doing something. Oh, Santa. Oh, yes, Santa brings the stockings and he brings these toys. And you find that other people have different stories, because our sister-in-law's was, oh, no, Santa just brings stockings. No, everyone else has the toys. And we're like, oh, right, yes. Yeah. So, yeah, that was kind of.
It's helping you to have those upfront conversations rather than having those conversations which are really important under pressure, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Good succinct words there, Dan.
It's early for me. You're 12 hours ahead. So, and if you were to paint a picture, is it a case of couple of people go out for a drink, take a pack of cards, and they go through all of them, or how do you see it working?
Well, how I saw it working the other day, my daughter was sitting with her boyfriend on the sofa. And I don't know how it happened, but we were talking about children and possibilities of having them. I don't know where this came from. And I said, well, I've got cards on there. She said, what? And she just got the cards and she went, oh my God. And she just kind of read out a couple of cards and they just like talked about and had a bit of a laugh and a chat. And I went, oh. And she said, oh, no, I'm going to put it back down now, she said, because I think it's getting a bit real. And she left it there. But it doesn't have to be heavy, sit down, let's go through all the cards, because there are a lot there. The reason they are kind of chunked into those 5 areas is so you can take the area out that you need kind of now. And she was definitely looking at the kind of preparation stuff, because it's like, oh, no, I hadn't thought about that. We'll talk about that one later, kind of thing.
That's good.
I mean, or you could have a coach, I guess, if there's someone you trust or someone you go to. Coaches could use these things with people who are doing the whole life choice. There's a lot of life coaches out there, isn't there? And sometimes we don't know the kind of questions to ask. I mean, the pregnancy ones, I actually used my colleague to help put those together, because she had just gone through pregnancy.
Lovely.
So it was absolutely on the ball for her, because she said, oh my God, I just couldn't believe it, how many people just wanted to touch my bump. And it's like, really? What? I didn't expect that. And I didn't know how to respond. And I said, well, let's put a question about that, shall we? You know, what's your response if people want to touch your child when it's in a buggy, you know, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
It's a great question, because that happened to me as the man of a wife who was pregnant, and people were touching her bump, and it was very odd. I wasn't sure how I felt about that. It was strange, because it was almost you've got a bump, I can now touch you, whoever I am. That's a weird phenomenon. I never understood that.
Yes, and if you've had because it throws you, you're not in the right frame of mind to answer.
Yeah.
But if you've already pre-discussed, then obviously you can do that.
Yes. All right. And the final part, you've got some books out. Are they still available?
They are still available on Amazon. I'm actually going to be working with a book coach hopefully shortly to do a bit more updating on them, because they followed my journey with my children. So they span the last kind of 20 years. And yeah, they go all the way from years 1. And I'm about to launch book 4. Hopefully the end of this year that will be out there, which goes all the way up to 16. And it's more for you as an adult than it is for your child, which is kind of like the sort of stuff that we find ourselves going through at those times. Our kids, to be honest, have got this. You know, as long as they're being fed, watered, and have somewhere safe to come back to, they look after themselves. The challenge is us, because we're reliving our life through them, and we stress for them and we worry for them. They don't have any of that. We take it on. So the books really are about how do we structure how we talk to them, and how do we think about it, and how do we support them to make good decisions in their lives, because we're not going to be there. I mean, my kids now are 20. One of mine is now living in the UK with her grandfather. So that's a fair distance away right now. But so we have to have trust. You have to have faith that you've put the groundwork in. And yeah, then they can spread their wings. I'm not saying everyone's going to lose their child to the other side of the world, but you never know. You never know.
And just tell me the title of your book so we can go and search for it on Amazon.
All right, so the first one's called Parenting Gets Personal. So it's ages 1 to 4, and that's because even if you know the stuff, when it's your own kid, completely different journey. Then we have Parenting Moves People, 4 to 8, which is when we moved to New Zealand. So it's all about actually moving to a new country, support networks. I also lost my mother, unfortunately, at that time. So the book's suddenly got a dual purpose of being a memory for and guidance for my children as well as for other people. And then we have Parenting Requires Perseverance, which I think all parents can definitely attain to when the 8 to 12-year-olds, where suddenly they're starting to be their own kind of person. And the fourth one, which I haven't quite put out there yet, is Parenting Takes Presence, which is even though they're now at kind of 12 to 16-year age, they still need you around. No, they might not be quite so pleasant in there.
It's true. Loving the titles. I like that. So you got 4 books. The 4th one's coming out, each with about 3 words, by Ruth Taylor. All right.
Yes.
Available on Amazon. Ruth, thank you very much. And thank you for creating a product which I don't think any other product solves the problem of helping us to think about parenting before time, prodding and poking our brains there. What about that? How about that? Should we think about that? So thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
We're going to leave you to your evening down under, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ruth. Okay.
I really do hope you did in the background have constant scratching at door and meowing cat, because she is an annoying little rat when she wants to.
No, we couldn't hear any of that. No, that was fabulous. Thank you. What we'll do is we'll chop that up, take the front and end bit off. I'll send you a link when it's available, and let's see if it does something. It might do. It might not. But thank you for your time anyway.
No, that's right. I'm aware that I haven't done a fat lot of self-promotion recently. I did it for a while, and then I got a new job, and this job has been so up and bloody down. I'm seriously waiting to the end of the month to find out what they want to do with us, and then kind of go, right, well, what do I do? So I am now, my children have actually survived till adulthood. You start to feel a little bit more kind of justified in what you say, because all the way through there's been this kind of like, yeah, but what if?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So as far as imposter syndrome goes, I'm almost over that now, almost. And you never know, my name may appear more often. Let's see what happens.
Well, I hope so. I mean, the books sound fabulous. I haven't read them, but they sound fabulous. Let's see, maybe the cards will help promote that, and the book will promote that, and let's see if it does something. It might do. It's
out there. Yeah, the books probably need an external point of view. So I am collaborating with a local lady. We're just trying to discuss exactly what it looks like. I just know it's going to take a lot of effort to re-edit, and I mean, there's 20 years worth of stuff there. It's not something which is going to happen in a short period of time. So
books anyway, they really are. I'm trying to work with a Kindle KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing coach to try and beef up my Amazon presence. God, it's bloody hard, really hard. It's all
Well,
about
that's
keywords, SEO, and la la la.
Well, so I've got SEO going on in my website and stuff, and I actually do get people dropping in there, but I really need to do a significant investment in the sense of putting my books on my own website and things like that. But I'm not that technically savvy, and I've never actually put a shitload of money into the business because it doesn't be my time. So when you have to front up 10 grand for something which has so far probably only earned me a couple of $100, it's
I know,
so yeah.
I know that feeling.
So yeah,
I know it's a big punt, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nah, big punt to
I
get a
do
big
keep seeing your
return.
posts, and I do keep seeing you've got more cards come in, and as you say, I think having a good array available is a good thing.
I had, it's just, I'll give you an example. I've got someone I employ full time just to manage Amazon. That's the problem.
Right.
Amazon's horrible. And there was a moment about a month ago where I just thought this is not worth it because all we do is sell these to try and sell training courses, but it takes so much effort to get Amazon's listings optimized. And they keep changing the rules and the blah blah blah, and you think, can I be asked?
Yeah, well, yeah, it is one of those hamster wheel moments, isn't it? Certainly as the pool of social media is so big now, and
Yeah.
I managed to sign into Threads the other day, and it confuses the hell out of me. I can't see any difference between Threads and Instagram. I mean, what's the difference?
No, I know.
It's
I
also
know.
connected. Every time I post on Instagram, it posts on Threads. And I thought,
Yeah.
well, does Threads mean I can just keep a thread going of a particular comment? No, it just seems to look like freaking. And I'm like, I'm getting too old for this shit.
And that's right. I'm getting too old for this shit. And there's so much vying for our attention now. You think, really, can I make my way in amongst a million things going, look at me, look at me?
Oh, yeah, I make little videos. I did make videos for a while because my friend said, oh, you should make videos. I said, I have made videos. Oh, but you're not on Instagram making videos. I said, right. So I made about 5 videos. They were kind of fun. And it's like, how can you make a point in like less than 30 seconds?
Yeah.
The average watch time for my videos was 3 seconds.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And it's like, how can I deliver a message in 20 to 30 that they may potentially actually, and they're not going to watch because it's not fun. They want to watch funny stuff. They don't actually want to watch. You should do this. I think the most popular was one where I was standing there and a fire engine went behind the side, and I said, "What would you do in an emergency?" Woo, woo, woo. And it's like we were playing golf at the time, and I suddenly went, "Oh, there's fire engine." So I turned my phone on. And I went, what would you do in an emergency? That was probably one of the most popular ones, but yeah, it's constantly having the ideas, constantly having the energy to try and do it, and then you think, is anyone even giving?
Is anyone asked? Are they watching this? My mate runs Lanzarote Information, biggest Lanzarote website. His most viral video was the one where it was 50 degrees at Lanzarote, and he said, "Let's see if we can fry an egg on the pavement." Went viral, and he just went, "This is stupid." He said, "I've got videos of restaurants, fine wines, seas." He said, "No, it's the egg."
Yeah, people aren't interested in the everyday. They get that at home. Yeah, and they want answers to a problem. It's like, actually, I don't have the answer to your problem because I don't understand your problem, and I don't dare give you an answer which I can't stand behind. That's why I fail, because I'm not going to go, this is your answer. It doesn't work with me. I'm all these other people go, all you need to do, it's like diets, isn't it? Just do this. And I'm like, bollocks. Yeah.
Yeah, just stop eating.
I have too much integrity for that. Yeah. Which is why it's why I quite actually enjoyed making the cards, because it works in my way that I'm not telling people what to do.
Yeah, and I like that. I like coaching, not telling.
I'm just generating the question. They can come up with their answer. I can ask more questions if I think they're making a stupid decision, but it's theirs to make. But yeah.
Yes, they own it. All right. Thank you very much. It's late there. I wish you well with job front headache.
Yes, it will be what it is. And yeah, good luck with your continuing endeavours.
We shall keep trying and see. God loves a trier, and I keep trying.
Well, I was going to say, as long as you're breaking even, mate, if you can do that. But that is the one benefit of working with someone else. You just have to worry about that shit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I went self-employed 23 years ago, and every day I think I shouldn't have.
Well, that's it. Some people thrive in it, others people don't, and it's like, um, I mean, we'd be okay at the moment, not knowing from one week to the next if I'd got any work, because my husband has been working in the same job for about 18 years,
Oh,
whereas
okay.
I've bounced from pillar to post for the last 18. But every single time I've kind of tried to make this work.
Yeah.
Either we didn't really have very much money, and then I got offered a job, so I took it. So that was when I first tried. Second time was just as COVID was finishing, because that's when I was made redundant, and it wasn't the right time to get out there. I wasn't feeling it, no one else was feeling it. And yeah, and now just absolutely been through the ringer with this constant change process, and you just. But anyway, I'm just
Yeah.
going to go and strangle a cat.
All right. You have a good rest of your evening. Take care.
Thank you now. Bye bye.
Dearie. Bye bye.